This is N2LEN with another quick video clip. This is a follow-up video clip to a video that I posted about a couple of years ago regarding the TM-D700a control panel controlling a Kenwood TS-2000. There is no definitive serial number series that's been posted that actually works. I could only tell you what I know, which serial number series works with me. In the past, I've had a 61 million serial G2 revision firmware work perfectly to control the radio. I've also had the Kenwood RC-2000 panel work perfectly. And this particular one that I just received, purchased used, is a 41 million revision serial with G2 firmware. The G2 is affixed to the serial number tag on the bottom right under the TM-D700 actual lettering. And that serial tag is actually affixed to the bottom of the back part of the radio. Anyway, this video is going to show you how the radio control program controls the radio and the control panel if you find one that is working perfectly. And there are videos posted on YouTube showing later G2 firmware panels that do not work. So I don't know at what serial number series they began working. Some panels, you'll plug it in with the control cable, and when you power up the radio will turn on and off and on and off and on and off. But anyway, the way that the software control program works with the radio is it's just a standard DB9 serial cable that plugs into the back of the TS-2000 and into your serial COM port of the computer. You basically go into the setup and you configure that. I'm not going to do that now, but basically once you make the connection by clicking the connection, a yellow indicator will light up here, and that will then show you that there is a bridge connection between your computer and the radio, and the software is ready to talk to the actual radio. And of course now the control panel. The cable that comes with the control panel for the TM-D700 is the cable that you use to plug into the back of the TS-2000. The jack, the socket, the modular socket on the back of the TS-2000 is a 6-pin RJ type socket. The control cable that comes from the TM-D700 is only a 4-pin connector, but it fits perfectly into the 6-pin socket. All you need to do is remove this socket protector off of the back of the TS-2000, and you can clearly see it. It's marked panel, and once you remove that protector, you could then plug in the cable. On the D700, you can clearly see it's also marked panel, which is to the left of the mic jack. The mic jack is a standard RJ45 type 8-pin mic socket, modular socket. And the panel socket is the same as the TS-2000. It's a 6-pin socket that accepts the 4-pin control cable that snaps into the side of the D700A. So it is really a risk that you take when you purchase the radio. If you're looking to buy the radio to use the panel for the TS-2000, it's basically a crapshoot that hopefully you get one that actually works. There is 13.8 volts supplied to the TS-2000. I'm going to select connection right here. And basically once it connects, you could see the yellow indication showing that the computer is now connected through the serial port cable to the radio. And now I'm going to power up the radio by selecting power. It takes a few seconds for the communications to load and to communicate back and forth and to load the data. But I want you also to see the TM-D700, which I believe just runs in series with the software and the radio itself. So here I am, I'm going to power up. Click power. The radio is turning on, and so is the panel. When you have a proper serial number that works, the TM-D700 panel works exactly alike to the Kenwood RC-2000 control panel. Now, what's really nice about the software is that now the software not only controls the radio, but it also controls the control panel. So and one thing that's really, really nice about this particular software, since the day that it came out many years ago, it controls 99% of the radio features, which is the coolest thing. You come into menu, you select menu, and the first selection is display brightness. And right now you have 5 selections. And right now we're on the brightest setting, which is 4. But I'm going to go ahead and select 3. Let me click it so you can see this. 2, 1, off. And back up to 4. And the same thing with the radio. 4, 3, 2, 1, off, and back up to 4. Now, a couple of other things really quick, and this is a brief video clip. Of course, the panel, if you just, it has dual volume and squelches, which is great. And if you bring up the volume, you could see the slider moving up. You can control it from the control panel. You can control it from the radio. And you could also control it from the software. If you want to take up the sub VFO, you just click sub, and I'll take it right off. You want to turn on the sub, you just click it, and it turns right back on. So that's about it. This is N2LEN demonstrating the RC-2000 radio control program for the Kenwood TS-2000 B2000, the Kenwood TM-D700a control panel, 41 million serial number, G2 firmware, working perfectly, controlling the Kenwood TS-2000. This is N2LEN saying best 7-3.